A 3-0 loss at home to Brighton has ensured that Arsenal's title hopes are dented. Their chances of winning the English Premier League title for what would be the first time in decades seem to be slim and slimmer by the day. That 3-0 loss at home has certainly hit a dagger in the chest of many Arsenal fans. But what exactly is going to happen in the few remaining games? Man City are 4 points clear of them on 85. Arsenal has got 81. They have got 2 games left. Man City has got 3. Their next game comes before that of Man City in the English Premier League. Certainly, it's a difficult place to be a Gooner, isn't it? Well, good evening. Good afternoon, good morning. How are you? How are you feeling if you're an Arsenal fan? Do you have any guts, any energy left in you to keep supporting this team? Or would you, if you were at the Emirates Stadium today, would you be among the so many Arsenal fans who walked out, who marched out of the Emirates Stadium before the final whistle in disappointment? Well, it's a terrible, terrible time, like I said, but it's not a difficult time for you to get your phone, get your computer, click or smash that like button, but also most importantly, subscribe to this channel, The Hot Spot. My name is Webb, and it's here that we get to discuss all the hottest topics in the world of sport, and football, of course, for the most part, takes center stage. Now, Arsenal have lost a game that perhaps many did not expect them to Brighton by 3-0. Now, this game did mean that Arsenal are now certainly losing all the hope they had left in them that they would lift the English Premier League title. Remember, this is a season where I think everyone felt perhaps Arsenal did not only deserve it because of how good they performed on the pitch, but also, the fact that they have taken so many years without taking it, and Man City are almost making it a fashion to win it lately. Many people, even non-Arsenal supporters, to be honest, did feel Arsenal should be winning it this time around. I know of several Man United fans who feel like it's okay. Imagine Man United fans saying, it's okay, let Arsenal win it this time. Well, this seemed like the season until Brighton happened, beating them by 3-0 in a game played at the Emirates Stadium. Where did it go wrong for Arsenal? Were they jitters? These players looked like they had no hunger and desire at all. Brighton nearly dominated them. They did pass that ball for fun, and it's not every day that you see a team come out there against the Gunners and have the confidence to pass the ball the way Brighton were. So it's certainly a very, very disappointing result for Mikel Arteta and his boys. But how do they pick themselves up and bounce back, at least win their 2 remaining games against Nottingham Forest, and of course the final one at home on the 28th of May against Wolves? It's going to be difficult for them to imagine they can go on and leapfrog Man City for this title. But today's game, Arsenal, I think, you would say yes, they tried, but they didn't try everything. I didn't feel, to be honest, for 1 minute that Arsenal were giving their all to win this game. Well, not that they came there not to win. They were outbeaten. The better team won the game. But I feel like Arsenal should have shown more desire in this one. But Enciso, Undav, and Ostopinan did score the 3 goals that ensured that Brighton climbed to 6th position on the pile after that very unexpected victory over the Gunners. Now, for Arsenal, it's a gone case. It's almost a gone season. If you think about the permutations and mathematics involving Manchester City, you can't be in a chase at this stage against any team. But Manchester City, trust you me, is always going to be a very, very difficult mountain to climb for any team. So for Arsenal, to be honest, it's going to be quite a difficult 2 games for them, final 2 games for them. But what do you think? The number to call is right there on WhatsApp, +256 784 750 280. First of all, tell me, do you think Arsenal have got any slim chance left to win this title? All they did need to do now, at least, is win their 2 remaining games and hope that Man City bottle it somewhere against Chelsea, who are coming up next after their Champions League game against Real Madrid. Man City has got to play Chelsea. It is a home game for them. Then they have got to play this same Brighton as well. So what do you think? Do you think there is any slim chance for Arsenal to go on all the way and salvage their chances and go on and perhaps on the final day be a contender for this title? Or is it, I think, all clear now? We have the champion-elect in Manchester City, and it is certainly a mixture of feelings, to be honest. I mean, thinking about these young Arsenal players and what they have done all throughout the season. Talk about the likes of Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, the coach himself, Mikel Arteta. If you think about what they have put in and what they have done this season, you feel really they deserved something. You feel really Arsenal should be winning something at the end of this season. But like I keep saying, for me, finishing second for them should be fair enough. But clearly, Arsenal supporters are not so happy considering how they marched out of the Emirates Stadium before the final whistle as they were trailing to Brighton. So it's a difficult place to be. I wonder, will it be celebrations on the 28th of May in the event that Arsenal, which is most likely going to be the event, don't lift this title? Will they be celebrating with their team against Wolves in that final game of the season? Will they be applauding their manager, or will they quickly go on and attack the players for bringing so much hope, raising their hopes and expectations so high, only to bottle it at the death or at the final hurdle? It's very difficult, challenging. I think it's so bad, it's so difficult to be an Arsenal player right now. But you can call me on the number +256 right there on your screen, 784-750-280, and let's have a conversation about this Arsenal team and how they are performing and what you think is going to happen in the final few remaining games. Arsenal has got 2 games left. Manchester City has got 3. Now, can you imagine, just to take you back a bit, that Arsenal had an 8-point lead over Manchester City on match week 29. Since then, things went south. They went on to draw against Liverpool, they drew against West Ham United, they drew against Southampton, they beat Chelsea, beat Newcastle, bottle it against Brighton. How difficult can this beautiful game be? Isn't this why we love it? Isn't this why we love the Premier League? So unpredictable. But in your view, what went wrong for Arsenal in the event that which is most likely going to be the case? Really, right now I think they have 99% rather a 1% chance of winning this title, to be honest. I don't see Manchester City bottle it this time. They just need to win probably one more game, or a win and a draw, and that's it. I mean, so difficult for Arsenal to beat Man City to the title now. But in your view, if that were the case, where did they bottle it? Where did it go wrong for the Gunners? After such a brilliant run in this season, after such confidence they showed against teams like Manchester United, where did it all go wrong? Where did they fail in that test of character, in your view? The final hurdle in the Premier League title chase is never easy. I mean, you think about some of the strongest teams, even Manchester United. Remember that season when Sergio Kun Aguero won it for Man City at the death against QPR. Even for teams like Man United, and Man United at that time had a star-studded team. It was never going to be easy for them against a Man City. At the final hurdle in the Premier League race is always not easy, and it takes a lot of character from both the manager, the team, and the fans for a team to maintain it. I'll tell you, Arsenal in these past weeks has been having a lot more pressure than Man City or than any other team playing in the Premier League, because they put themselves in the position where they felt they would believe now that they can win this title. And the fans were believing, everyone was believing. So that's a position of so much pressure. More so if you've got a team like Manchester City chasing, a team that has been there for seasons. They have got players with immense experience, huge talent. I saw that goal from Ika Gundogan today, and I'm thinking he's not even one of the most praised Man City players, but he's there. He's not even one of their marquee players. They have so much talent, so much depth in that squad. So for that team to be chasing you and your Arsenal with this bunch of young players, it's always going to be a difficult place. So I think for me, it's a case of game management. That's where the jitters had to come in. It became so difficult for the players to manage this situation. So much expectations from the fans themselves. The belief was there, but the pressure was too much mounting from Manchester City. And certainly the pressure that comes with expectation, I think at times makes it so difficult for any team. But, well, it's going to be a very interesting turnout of events. But the gods of football never stop giving. They never stop surprising. I do believe if you have been around football for quite a while, you would know that you cannot rule out Arsenal 100%. That's why I say they've got a 1% chance of winning this title. But the truth is, they are actually looking so good. But you can slide into that comment section, and let's go. Of course, let's get proper into it and try to pick your mind on what has happened at Arsenal. They did lose. Man City won at Everton. Arsenal lost. So does it mean it's done and dusted? And there is a gentleman called here in our comment section, Kamal Dean. He's saying that Arsenal lost it after the Saliba injury. They missed that calmness in the team. Yes, Saliba has been out of this Arsenal team for quite a while, and I think I do agree with Kamal. I think Saliba was adding a lot to this Arsenal team in terms of balancing it. So him being out of a couple of games, I think you saw how they struggled without him. Mikel Arteta was, a bit short of ideas on who exactly to replace him with. But you feel beyond that for me, beyond individuals and players, for me, I think it must, because whereas Saliba was missing this Arsenal team, to be honest, I don't think Arsenal's success in this season was largely about individual players. Even when Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard were shining way above the rest, you think the trick for Arsenal, I think the secret for Arsenal has been in the unit, in the strength, the togetherness, the teamwork, the brotherhood, the spirit. The team spirit has been solid. The desire, the hunger, the belief that the manager has been instilling in them, for me, has been the strength for Arsenal. So when they reached at the death or the home stretch of this league and they got themselves in a battle against a team like Manchester City, then I believe the whole belief started crumbling. I mean, the unit was shaken by fear, by jitters, by expectations, because like I said, with expectations comes pressure. If people have got high expectations in you, more so if you're a team like Arsenal, that, to be honest, at the start of the season, we're not looking like a team that would be competing, that would be in the title conversation right now. It's always going to be difficult, you being there at the end, and you have a team like Manchester City chasing you. So for me, I believe it's mostly about game management from both the manager. Mikel Arteta is a young manager. He has not been here, but you credit him for putting himself and the entire Arsenal faithful in this position. To be honest, not so many of us expected Arsenal in this position at the start of the season. So for me, I think Arsenal's title hopes might be done, but I do believe Arsenal supporters, those who marched out of the Emirates Stadium in disappointment, we do understand the fans want to see their team winning, more so at home. You don't want to see your team losing to a team like Brighton, but let's face it, Brighton has been the surprise package of this season. I mean, they have been the surprise package of the season, a very organized team. They play football for fun. You remember that game against Man United when they played Antonio, like a child. They played a tiki-taka against Antonio. I mean, a triangle against him. They're a good team. They know how to play the game. They can possess the football. So there's nothing to be ashamed of. No wonder they're in 6th position. And by the way, they are still pushing for a 4th spot. They are still pushing for 4th position on the pile. And it's possible if Liverpool do not go on and win their remaining games, Brighton, with their pace and impetus, they can actually surprise them and leapfrog them for 4th position, because as it is now, here's the look on the pile. Man City is topping with 85 points. Arsenal are second with 81. Newcastle 66, Man United 66. They have both played 35 games. Liverpool has played 35 as well. They have got 62 points, whereas Brighton, who have played 34 games, meaning they have got a game in hand, they have got 58 points rather. 58 points for Brighton. So you can see they are still in the race for a top 4. They are still not ruled out, and with how they are performing, beating Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium by 3-0, well, certainly they can actually pull off a surprise and go on to win their remaining games and just wait for any of the teams above them to bottle it, and boom, who knows, Brighton could be playing in the UEFA Champions League ahead of teams like Manchester United. Very possible. But that's the talk in the Premier League. The question is, Arsenal's title hopes done? Their next game is against Nottingham Forest. They are traveling to Nottingham. It's going to be an exciting one. That game will be coming on the 20th of of May. It will be next Saturday, and then their final game will be against Wolves. Now, the team they are competing with in Manchester City has got a Champions League game to play against Real Madrid. That will be their next game. Then they have got Chelsea to play, should be on the 21st of May. So meaning Arsenal will come back in action before Manchester City comes. So by the time Man City comes to play, depending on how Arsenal handles this game away to Nottingham, a team trying to survive relegation, that's another difficult game for them. So it's going to be a confusing situation for this Arsenal team in these remaining games. So an exciting season, and indeed giving us an exciting ending. But how has it been for you? What was your turning point perhaps of the season? Where did this Arsenal team bottle it? Those are conversations we can't keep going on in our comment section. If you do go slide into that comment section, but first smash that like button and also subscribe to the channel so that we keep talking sport here on the Hot Spot. Amazing stuff. Now, before I wrap it up, probably do want to give you some quick predictions, just a little few predictions, because I do know you people do love to play some betting and play some stakes on a few teams, because I mean, what's football without staking a punt? I mean, it's always good for you to bet on a game or two here and there, and maybe make some Arab money, like I love to call it. I think for those who stake with me, I did give you that over for Arsenal. I told you that game would have 2 goals or more. And, the distribution of goals was always going to be difficult. But in betting, it's not about getting the result accurate. It's about the bet you play, the option you play. That's why there are many options. So for those of you who staked over 2 and above, I think you should be smiling all your way to the bank after that victory. But more games to come your way starting tomorrow. It's a Monday. Leicester City fighting relegation, playing against Liverpool. That game will be a hot one. Liverpool hoping to maintain their chase and perhaps mount pressure on Manchester United, hoping to finish among the top 4 and survive the embarrassment of playing in the Europa League. They have got 4 points. They are 4 points shy of Manchester United. Manchester United are not quite like the element, never mind them winning their last game. So it's going to be an interesting one. They're playing a Leicester City that is second from the bottom, still having a chance of survival. They must win each of their remaining games. They will be playing home at the King Power Stadium, so certainly it's going to be an interesting one. But if you ask me to predict, I'll say both teams will score. That's my prediction of that game involving Liverpool and Leicester City. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel, The Hot Spot. Every day we will be talking stories, making rounds in the world of sport. But also, you should be able to drop into the comments section and let's continue with the conversation. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Have a good night. Adios.